Welcome back to the shooting channel, and welcome back to another episode about how to buy your first or second gun. Now, I've done one of these years and years ago, but a lot of people in the comments are saying it's really hard what to go for first. Do I go for a starter gun to start with? Do I go for a more expensive gun? So I've laid out and I'm going to lay out the basic kit you'd have, and I've got a rack of guns ranging from £500 to £600 to £10,000. Now, my biggest thing I would suggest when you're looking at buying your first or second gun is forget about brands. Find your local shooting school. Don't go to your local gun shop. Find your local shooting school. Have a look on YouTube. Have a look on some of the magazines and set yourself a budget. Now, don't think I need a Blaser F3, a Krieghoff, a Beretta high-end, a Browning high-end. Set yourself an affordable budget of what you need, what you can afford to spend. And then go to your local shooting school, book yourself in a lesson or two-hour lesson, and they will explain to you about kit, about glasses, about the whole process of buying your first or second gun. Now, don't think to yourself, I need to spend a fortune on kit or gun to start with, because you don't need to. So I have got a couple of things. The first thing I would suggest you have is you need a set of earphones, you need a cap. So we have the Pelto earphones or the SWATCOM earphones. They start at £35 or they go up to sort of £400 or £500. You want a skeet vest, or I'm wearing a Castellini skeet vest, or you can have, which is the top end, or you can have a sealant vest. Now, the best thing that I look at when you're looking at a skeet vest is you look at the width here. There's no collar. So it starts from there and comes all the way down to here. And if you look at the sealant one, it does the same. So the sealant one is the budget one, and then it goes up to the Castellini one. I have also got a Laxon one if you're looking at something a little bit less clay shooting-y and a little bit more for fun and game shooting-y. So the Laxon skeet do very good, sort of run-the-mill good skeet vests that aren't necessarily right in front of your eyes and clay shooting orientated. So I then have 2 or 3 different pairs of glasses. I recommend the Castellinis, which are the top end, which are like £380, £400 upwards. I have the Evolution Magnet ones, which again come off. They all come in the set. Or I have the Evolution, the slightly cheaper set, which start at sort of £20 and go up. I would recommend going for the set because they do have all the colour lenses, and the colour lenses is what you really need. Different colour backgrounds, different colour clays. But what all these glasses have got in common is they are very high, and they have the round there which moulds around your face there. So again, if I just take my glasses off and I put these on, so the whole idea is the glasses sit on there and they sit above your eyes there. So when you're mounting that gun, if I just mount the gun into the camera, when you're mounting that gun, the gun is empty. You put your head onto that gun and you're looking through the centre of the lens. And again, if I do them with all 3 pairs of glasses, you will see. So these are the Magnet from Evolutions. And these are the Castellani ones. So you see, yes, they are range from sort of £20 and go up. But if you look at them, they all have that high lens and the rounded ones. So they come and wrap around your eyes. And with the quality of them, basically, it is the quality of the lens that you're paying for with the majority of these glasses. So that is your glasses range that I would recommend. And then you have guns. I'm going to be honest, it is a bit like the lotto. you've just got to set yourself a budget and trust that shooting school, which is why I recommend for you go to a shooting school to buy your gun, not a gun shop. Because if they're a professional shooting school, they will take out a range of guns. Don't need to get massively involved in massive gun fit things and all of your height. If it's a professional shooting school, they will know what gun fits you. And generally, the biggest thing you need to be thinking about is your eye. When you mount that gun there, is your eye has got to be above that gun, above that rib there. So it's got to be the right length. Most off-the-shelf guns will come at 14 3/4, but the biggest thing is the height. And this is the biggest thing that you need to be thinking about. And depending on your size, if you're quite big, you will need some slightly low in the comb. If you're very tall, you'll need quite high in the comb. So that is just the basics of what you want to look at. So don't get technical on your first gun or second gun. Let the shooting school, let the instructor advise you to where to go within your budget. So I've got a Ranger gun. I've got the Yieldits SPZ, which again starts at about £600. Again, this is very similar stock dimensions to the Browning, which is quite high there. Fairly light, but this is a brilliant gun for the money if you've only got £600 to spend. So that is the Yieldits SPZ. I've then got the ATA, which again, if you look, a very good copy of the Beretta, slightly lower in the comb than what the Yieldits is. So you're looking a little bit more into that. So if you've got a little bit more fat in the face, it will help you a little bit better. I've then got the Beretta Silver Pigeon, which again, whereas the ATA and the Yieldits SPZ are sort of £600 mark, the Silver Pigeon starts at sort of £1,800. Again, the Silver Pigeon tends to have a slightly lower comb than what the sort of Brownings have, but that is the Silver Pigeon Grade 1. I've then going up in the rankings, I've got the Browning 525, which again has a quite high in the comb. Same sort of price range, £1,600 to £1,800 as the Beretta, but that is the 525 range. They also have a 725 range, which is halfway between the Beretta and the Browning, which is slightly lower in the comb than the 525, but a little bit fatter there. So the 725 range in the Browning. I then will move on, and I've got the Yieldits Pro. This particular Yieldits Pro, again, this is in the same league as the Browning 525 and the Beretta Silver Pigeon. Sort of, they start at £1,300, £1,400 and go up to £2,000, depending which one you want, whether you want the fixed stock one or the adjustable comb. But again, don't get the SPZ Yieldits range mixed up with the Yieldits Pro, because they are very, very different guns. This is, as you've probably seen on previous videos, this is the one I call the fake Perazzi. Very much a Perazzi look-like. So you've got to think this is more in the league of the 525, 725 and the Beretta Silver Pigeon and the Maruku MK38. So that's where the Yieldits Pro sits. I've then got the MK38, which is the Maruku. Again, this is one of the biggest selling guns out there. Again, they're not promoted as much, but these are a very, very good all-round gun. They do an MK60 and an MK70, which is slightly low in the comb, but this particular model is a heavy, built like a trap gun, very high in the comb, quite heavy, out-and-out clay shooting gun. And they retail at just under £2,000. So that is the MK38, and then you've got the MK70 and the MK60. I've then stepping up a little bit, I've got the XS Pro, and again they do the XS Pro and they also do the 725 Pro Sport. Now the biggest thing with the XS Pro is I believe that this is possibly the best value for money serious competition gun. So when you're looking at this, you're looking at just under £4,000 or about £4,000. But this specific model has got barrel weights, stock weights, adjustable comb, recoil system, external, internal chokes, all the different triggers you need. So if you're looking at an out and out competitive gun and you don't want to spend over £4,000, I would look at the XS Pro or the Pro Sport. So that is a slightly more, once you've moved off of your first gun and you want to move into the clay shooting market. I've also then got the Beretta 694, which again retails at about 4,000 to 4,500, so a little bit more than the XS Pro. Not a lot, but a little bit more than the XS Pro. So that is the Beretta 694. Again, got its external chokes. It doesn't come with stock weights and barrel weights. You can add them to it, but it doesn't come with it. Again, it's got its recoil pad, and this is where I tend to think the XS Pro, value for money, it comes with all the extras as part of that price. So that is the 694. So again, we're moving up a little bit more into the sort of top of the range kind of clay guns if you go from there. I've then got the Blaser F16. Now the Blaser F16 starts at about sort of 3,800, 4 grand, and goes up to about just over 5. Now this one is quite different. Yes, this is a competitive gun, but this is a very different gun, slightly unique, and it balances a lot different. It balances, it's not really light, and it's hard to say without you shooting it. But when you shoot them, if you're the sort of person that is a elderly gentleman or a lady or a youngster that can't hold the gun up and has not got the strength, then the F16 is definitely one gun to look at. If you look at the Berettas and the Brownings and the Yieldits and the ATAs, they're quite heavy, where this one is very different. And this is why this is in my pick of this week's pick of which guns to look at, is because I really believe that this does suit the lady, the elderly gentleman, somebody that hasn't got quite that strength to go and pick a Beretta, a Browning, or an F3 Blaser up. So that is the F16. And then I've got a serious competition gun. You're moving right up into it. I've got the F3, and they do this in Advantage. They do this in the ordinary F3. But this you're looking at, they start at sort of 8-9 grand, and they go up to sort of 15,000. So, but again, if you mount this up, again, I like this, and I'm going to be honest, I prefer this to the F16. Because this is more like the weight of a Browning. So generally, if you like Brownings and you want to move up to something different, but you want to stay to that type of gun, this is definitely something to look at within your price range. But again, it's stepping up to that 8 to 9 to 10 grand to 12 grand. So that is the F3. Now, I've gone through the basic guns from £500 or £600 up to 10 grand. But don't forget, I will say it again, find your local shooting school. That is the first thing you want to be doing. Find your local shooting school and go and book a lesson. Even if you want your second gun. So if you bought yourself an ATA or a Silver Pigeon or a Browning 525 as your first gun, and you think, I want to step up to 4, 5, 6, 7 grand, go and try it at your local shooting school. It is the best way of buying a gun because you can make sure it's right. There is no point going to get a true, like a gun fit without going to your local shooting school. And the shooting school will do that gun fit for you. So don't be afraid of saying, booking in a lesson and asking for the gun fit within part of the lesson. That is part of a lesson fee that you pay for. I'd love to hear your comments. Please comment below. Or if you've got any questions about buying your first or second gun, email us at contactus@theshootingchannel.co.uk. Or if you're looking for a shooting school up and down the country, we can put you in the right place to find your local shooting school. So just a quick one now. I'm going to go back to each gun and I'm going to just show you what you're looking for with each gun. So I'm going to mount each gun at the camera and I'm going to show you the different, I talked about the different heights in the gun. So I'm quite tall and I fit fairly high in the comb gun. So I'm going to mount each gun at the camera so you can see where my eye comes in relation to that rib. And your eye should be, you should be able to put a £1 coin on top of that rib and you should be able to see the whole of your eyeball just rising above that rib. So, nothing in the gun. This is the Yieldit SPZ, the cheaper budget range. So I'm going to mount my gun there. So your eye should be parallel with the camera, not like that, like that. So there, and you should be able to see the whole of my eye, just when I put the chubby chops there, just above that rib there. So I'm doing that. That's what we want to be. So that is the SPZ Yieldit. I've then got the ATA. Again, gun empty. And if you look at where it comes up, it's slightly lower. So if I had slightly bigger and fatter cheeks, it would probably fit me slightly better. So again, there. So my eye comes slightly down the rib. The Silver Pigeon, which should come up very similar to the ATA. There. The Browning 525, which will come up very similar to the Yieldit's SPZ. See how high it is there? And now I'm going to go to the Yieldit Pro, which again will be very similar to the, it will be a little bit higher than the Beretta, but it will be not quite as high as the 525. And the Browning 725 will be very similar to this. And then I'm going to go to the Maruku, which is this, the MK38. So if you're looking for something very, very heavy, if you like a heavy gun and you're looking for something that's solid, then the MK38 is more your cup of tea. If you're quite a strong sort of builder and you've got quite, you do a job like building or something like that and you're quite strong, then this is definitely something that you want to look at. And again, don't forget, the MK70 and the MK60 will be slightly lower than the MK38. And then I've got the XS Pro. And again, so don't take note. Some of them have got adjustable combs, some of them haven't. And again, you don't have to have adjustable comb. A lot of people do like to have adjustable comb. It is not the be all and end all of things. As long as that stock height is correct, it is not the be all and end all of things. A lot of people will say, I will never buy a gun without an adjustable comb. That's rubbish. I mean, if an adjustable comb, depending on what you want. If you want to go game shooting, you don't really want an adjustable comb. So if you want to go if you're happy just to shoot sporting and you're happy just to get a gun right off the shelf, then you don't necessarily need adjustable comb. This is where your shooting school will help you, because they will go out with the demo guns and they will see what is right and what is wrong. I've then got the F16. And then I've got the F3, which will come up very similar to the Browning. Slightly high. And take note, the other thing you want to look at, these are all 30-inch. Again, if you're very tall, you might prefer 32-inch. Or if you're quite small and haven't got a great deal of strength in you, you might prefer 28-inch. But again, this is something you can look at with the expert once you go to your shooting school. And take note of the weight. I'm going to be honest, I have had in the past people come to me saying, I love the MK38, I really want to buy one. But if you haven't got a lot of strength, you are not going to like the MK38. You're going to like the Silver Pigeon or the Browning 525 or even the F-16 slightly better. So the MK38 and the XS are quite heavy guns. So that is where you've got to find your expert to go out with you with the lessons and work with you to find the right gun for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. A comment below. I've tried to go through everything that with kit, with glasses, with skeet vest, with cap, earphones. Again, you don't have to have expensive ones. I recommend either the Pelter earphones or the SWATCOM earphones. TSC10 does get you a discount with SWATCOM ear defenders. The Pelter ones are about £35, but they've got to be cut away down here. So the idea is when you mount the gun, you don't hit your earphone. I'm going to be honest, earphones are a hell of a lot better for your hearing than earplugs. Throw away the earplugs, get the earphones. They protect the whole of the ear and not just the middle part of the ear that goes in there. I hope you've helped. I've gone through about 10 different guns there, different models, different makes. I've gone through Brettas, I've gone through Marukus, I've gone through Blazers, I've gone through ATAs, I've gone through Yieldits. I hope that gives you a good insight into how to buy your first or second gun. Thank you for watching. Please, please, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us to give you content like this. And comment below. If there's anything you would like to find out or any films you'd like us to do, please comment below and we'll do our best to put those films out. And please subscribe and join the shooting channel, the shooting community. We are there to try and help you enjoy your sport and get in with your sport. Thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next one.